Few topics in Pakistan cricket spark as much heated discussion as the claim that Babar Azam is not a match winner. On paper, he is one of the finest batsmen of his generation, a run machine whose cover drive has been called the most beautiful shot in world cricket. His averages across formats are among the best in the modern game, and he stands in the same conversations as Virat Kohli, Kane Williamson, and Joe Root. Yet despite these credentials, there remains a perception that Babar is not the kind of player who single-handedly changes the course of a match in the most critical moments. This perception, whether fair or not, has become one of the most persistent narratives in discussions about his career. The rise of Pakistan's batting prodigy. Babar Azam's story is one of talent meeting opportunity. Born in Lahore, he honed his skills in the city's competitive cricketing circuits before making his way into the national team in 2015. From the outset, his batting was a revelation. Compact in technique, graceful in execution, and consistent in output. Within a short time, he became Pakistan's batting anchor, the man the team could rely on for stability. His early performances made him a symbol of hope for a batting lineup often accused of inconsistency, and his rapid rise suggested he was destined for greatness. But with greatness in Pakistan cricket comes the burden of expectation, and that burden is particularly heavy when the public expects not just runs, but dramatic, match-winning moments. Defining the modern match winner. In modern cricket, the idea of a match winner has evolved. It no longer refers only to players who score heavily, but to those who do so in high-pressure situations, when the stakes are highest and the margin for error is smallest. A match winner is remembered not just for the volume of their runs, but for the timing of their performances, the innings that alter the trajectory of a game or a tournament. In the white ball era, this often means players who can accelerate rapidly, dominate in chases, and deliver decisive knocks in knockout matches. It is here that the conversation about Babar Azam's credentials becomes complicated, because while his record for consistency is beyond question, his record in these specific situations invites scrutiny. The accumulator versus the game changer. Babar's approach to batting is rooted in accumulation rather than destruction. He builds his innings methodically, working the ball into gaps, rotating the strike, and minimizing risks. This makes him a formidable anchor, particularly in ODIs, where he can bat long and hold an innings together. However, this style can sometimes clash with the demands of modern limited overs cricket, especially when a game calls for sudden acceleration. The match winner in the popular imagination is a player who can dismantle attacks in a handful of overs, shifting momentum decisively. Babar's method, while elegant and reliable, does not always produce the kind of rapid, game-breaking shifts that fans associate with match-winning brilliance. The knockout stage puzzle. One of the most cited criticisms of Babar Azam is his record in ICC knockout matches and finals. His performances in these stages have been steady rather than spectacular, and in the eyes of many, this is where great players make their mark. In the 2019 Cricket World Cup, he scored a vital century against New Zealand, but it came when Pakistan's semi-final hopes were already in jeopardy. In the T20 World Cup 2021 semi-final, he began well, but did not produce the dominant innings that could have carried Pakistan to victory. In the 2022 T20 World Cup final, his 32 off 28 balls provided a start, but lacked the acceleration needed to set a match-winning total. These moments have contributed to the narrative that while Babar performs consistently, he does not yet have a defining big match innings on the global stage. The chase conundrum. Chasing targets in cricket is often where reputations are forged, and Babar's approach in chases has been a frequent talking point. His method of building steadily and avoiding early dismissal ensures stability, but it can also mean that if he departs before finishing the job, the team is left with too much to do. Comparisons with Virat Kohli are inevitable, as Kohli has built a career on high-pressure chases finished with flair. Babar's chases, by contrast, are often marked by caution and control rather than explosive acceleration. This difference in approach feeds into the perception that while he can guide a chase, he is not always the one to land the decisive blow, the weight of captaincy. Leadership has added another layer to Babar Azam's batting story. As Pakistan's captain, he not only carries the weight of expectation for his own performances, but also the responsibility of guiding his team. This dual role may have influenced his batting style, making him more risk-averse. Knowing that an early dismissal could trigger a batting collapse, Babar often prioritizes preservation over aggression. While this is understandable from a leadership standpoint, it can work against the narrative of being a match winner, as those players are celebrated for their willingness to take bold risks in pursuit of victory. Numbers that divide opinion. The statistics present a paradox. In ODIs, Babar's average of over 55 places him among the game's elite. In T20 internationals, his consistency and average rank with the very best in history. He is rarely out of form for long, and his ability to score 50s across formats is unmatched in the Pakistan setup. Yet when the focus narrows to ICC knockout matches and high-pressure chases, his numbers dip. The contrast between his dominance in bilateral series and his steadier, less explosive returns in major tournaments fuels the ongoing debate about his match-winning ability. Case studies that fuel the critics. Specific matches have become reference points in the discussion. In the Asia Cup 2022 final against Sri Lanka, he was dismissed cheaply early in the chase, and Pakistan never recovered. In the T20 World Cup 2022 final against England, his innings was steady but lacked the urgency to push the total into winning territory. Even in domestic competitions like the Pakistan Super League, while he has produced important 50s in knockout matches, few have been the kind of blistering innings that instantly swing the momentum. These examples are used to argue that his steady style, while valuable, has not often translated into match-defining moments in big games. Why his fans defend him fiercely. Despite the criticisms, Babar commands unwavering loyalty from his supporters. To them, his stability is the glue that holds Pakistan's often fragile batting order together. In a team where collapses are never far away, his ability to bat for long periods and keep the scoreboard ticking is invaluable. They argue that his role is to provide a platform, not necessarily to finish games, and that failures in closing out matches often reflect broader team shortcomings rather than his individual approach. For these fans, consistency is itself a match-winning quality, even if it does not come in the explosive form others might prefer. Match winner archetypes versus anchors. Cricket's history is full of different kinds of match winners. Some dominate through raw power and aggressive stroke play, while others impose themselves through patience and resilience. Babar belongs to the latter category, a modern anchor who controls innings and provides structure. Whether this qualifies as match winning depends largely on how narrowly or broadly the term is defined. In an era where T20 cricket has shaped expectations, the anchor role is often undervalued, even though it remains critical in many match situations. The role of media and public perception. In Pakistan, cricketing narratives are heavily influenced by media coverage and public sentiment. Babar's calm, understated demeanor does not fit the popular image of a fiery, aggressive match winner, and this affects perception. A single slow innings in a high-profile game can dominate headlines for days, overshadowing months of consistent performances. The match winner label, in many ways, is as much about image and storytelling as it is about runs and strike rates, and Babar's quiet style means he sometimes loses in the perception battle. The path to becoming an undisputed big match player. Babar Azam has all the technical tools and mental composure to become an undisputed match winner in the eyes of even his harshest critics. What could change the narrative is a handful of defining innings in knockout matches or finals where he accelerates earlier and takes calculated risks without fear of failure. With greater support from the middle order, he could play with more freedom, which might unlock the aggressive side of his game when it matters most. A single iconic performance on the grand stage could shift the conversation permanently. A question that still burns. Calling Babar Azam not a match winner oversimplifies a complex picture. He is a rare combination of grace, consistency, and reliability, but in a cricketing era obsessed with instant impact. The absence of a few career-defining big-game innings leaves him open to criticism. For now, he remains Pakistan's batting rock, But whether he becomes the kind of player remembered for delivering under the brightest lights will depend on how he shapes the next chapters of his career. Cricket history is shaped by players who rise when it matters most. If you believe in Babar Azam's talent, keep supporting him, but keep urging him to seize the moments that define legacies. If you doubt his match-winning ability, watch closely, because the day he produces that one unforgettable innings in a final, the debate might end forever. Until then, the question remains open. Is his greatest match-winning moment already behind him, or is it still waiting to be written? Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more such amazing videos. Thank you for watching and see you next time.